Hello everyone, welcome to the session on tribology of 7th semester mechanical engineering. So we are dealing with the module 4 hydrostatic bearings, and we are working on the problems. Till now we have covered around 3 to 4 problems in our hydrostatic step bearing. Today we will see further some more problems on the same module. So let us start with a problem. Okay. The fourth problem or the statement of the problem goes like this: a hydrostatic step bearing has the following characteristics. A hydrostatic step bearing has the following characteristics. Inlet oil pressure 4.5 megapascal. Inlet oil pressure is 4.5 megapascal, comma, the viscosity of the lubricant under the operating condition. Viscosity of the lubricant under operating condition is 43 centipoise. Viscosity of the lubricant under operating condition is 43 centipoise. External pressure is 0. External pressure is equal to 0, comma, minimum oil film thickness or oil film thickness is 0.05 mm. Oil film thickness is 0.05 mm, comma, shaft speed 900 rpm, comma, the vertical load acting on the bearing is 16875 Newton, full stop. Assume the ratio of R2 by R1, assuming the ratio of R2 by R1 equals 2, determine the first sub question, diameter of the shaft. Second sub question, the oil flow through the bearing. Third sub question, power loss due to viscous friction. I will repeat the question once again. In a hydrostatic step bearing has the following characteristics. Inlet oil pressure is 4.5 megapascal, the viscosity of the lubricating oil under the operating condition is 43 centipoise, external pressure equals 0, minimum oil film thickness is 0.05 millimeters, speed of the shaft is 900 rpm, a vertical load acting on the bearing is 16875 newtons, full stop. Assuming a ratio of R2 by R1 equals 2, determine the first sub question is diameter of the shaft. Second sub question is oil flow through the bearing. Third sub question is power loss due to viscous friction. So this is the problem statement that we have. And based on the problem statement, we have let us note down all the given data. By looking into the first statement of the problem, they have given the inlet supply pressure. Inlet supply pressure is denoted with P naught, and its value is 4.5 megapascal. Viscosity of the lubricating oil is 43 centipoise, and if this 43 centipoise is converted to Newton per millimeter or Newton per meter, this becomes 43 into 10 power minus 3 Pascal second. 43 into 10 power minus 3 Pascal second. External pressure is 0. Minimum oil film thickness is 0.05. Let us convert that to meters. 0.05 into 10 power minus 3 meters. Load they have given in terms of Newton. Shall we let us retain that same value? Then the speed it's mentioned in RPM. Let us take down in terms of RPS. How to get RPM, convert RPM to RPS? Divide that RPM, whatever the value given in RPM, by 60. 900 by 60 is 15 RPS. What is RPS? Revolution per second. r2 by r1 is equal to 2. We also can write what is the radius, or what is the radius? It is half of the diameter. So if it is r2, we can just write that as d2 by 2. If it is r1, we can just write that as d1 by 2. So we can cancel 2 and 2 on the either side. So we will be getting that as d2 by d1 equals to. That means to say r2 by r1 can also be written as d2 by d1. The value is 2. This will be helpful for us while solving the problem. Now the unknowns they have asked is the diameter of the shaft, flow rate, as well as the power loss. Flow rate and power loss. We have the equations for all these three, and it is our duty now to choose the equations wisely, because just if you know the equations, it is not enough to solve the problem. We should be knowing how to use those equations, how to use the data handbook. That's also a skill to use the data handbook properly. Now observe the problem. We have an equations for P naught, that is oil supply pressure, load carrying capacity, as well as the flow rate. If I look into the pressure, supply pressure equation, it is a function of the load carrying capacity as well as the diameters. Load carrying capacity as well as the diameters. So where the load carrying capacity is given and the diameters are unknown. If I look into the load carrying capacity, it is a function of pressure, the supply pressure and the diameters. So diameters are unknown, whereas I can deal with the supply pressure and the load carrying capacity. So now we should choose which equation should I use. Should I use the pressure or the load carrying capacity? If you observe carefully, the equation is both are same, just it is a modification of the equations. That is, if P naught is in terms of W, W is in terms of P naught. You can use any one of the equation. Now I will be using the equation of the load carrying capacity to determine the diameters. To find diameter of the shaft, we know that W equals, what is W? W is the load carrying capacity of a bearing. W equals pi P naught d2 square minus d1 square divided by 8 natural log of d2 by d1. Page number 23.67 and equation number 23.143. We know the value of W, we know the value of P naught, we know even the value of d2 by d1. What is d2 by d1? We got that value as 2. d2 we can write in terms of d1. I can write d2 as 2 times of d1 here. Correct? So I will be just substituting those terms to get the value of what? Either d2 or d1. I know the load carrying capacity as 16,875 newtons. Pi P naught supply pressure 4.5 into 10 power 6 into 10 power 6. Why we say 10 power 6? Mega means it is 10 power 6. Pascal means Newton per meter square. D2, what is D2? 2d1. Shall you put a square? Minus d1 square. Whole thing divided by 8 natural log. What is the ratio? d2 by d1. d2 by d1 is given by 2. It's given by 2. Now pi 4.5 into 10 power 6. So 4d1 2d1 square. 2 square d1 square becomes 4 d1 square minus d1 square divided by 8 natural log of 2. Natural log of 2. This can also be further reduced. What is 4 minus 1? 4 minus 1 is 3. So we can write pi 4.5 into 10 power 6. What is 4d1 square minus d1 square? This becomes 3d1 square divided by 8 natural log of 2. Natural log of 2. So the only unknown that is present in this particular equation is d1 square. So shall we solve for d1 square? d1 square equals d1 square equals 16875 into 8 into natural log of 2 whole thing divided by pi into 4.5 into 10 power 6 into 3. Shall we solve this in a calculator? So we get d1 as 0.0469 meters. Or 46.9 millimeters. Or 46.9 millimeters. So we know d2 by d1 equals 2. So d2 equals 2 times of d1. So this will be 46.9. So the value of d2 will be 93.9 millimeters, which can be approximated to 94 mm. So this is how we find the diameter of the shaft and the diameter of the pocket. Diameter of the shaft is d2, diameter of the pocket is d1. Shall we move on to the next sub question? Okay. The next sub question is to determine the flow rate. We have a direct equation for Q. Again, look into the page number 23.67, equation number 23.144. Pi P naught h cube divided by 6 neta natural log d2 by d1, equation number 23.144, page number 23.67. So we know all the values now. Pi 4.5 into 10 power 6, h cube 0.05 into 10 power minus 3 cube, 6 neta 43 into 10 power minus 3 natural log of 2. Solve this to get the value of flow rate or the flow variable. So we get it as 9.88 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube per second. The last sub question is power loss. P mu. Power loss is P mu. So again, page number 23.67, we have an equation for this. 0.062 n dash square neta by 16h d2 to the power of 4 minus d1 to the power of 4. Equation number 23.145a, page number 23.67, page number 23.67. So let us substitute 0.062 into 15 square into 43 into 10 power minus 3, whole thing divided by 16 into 0.05 into 10 power minus 3. D2 is 94 to the power of 4 minus D1. So D1 also we can approximate that to 47 mm. 47 to the power of 4. So on calculation, we get the power loss in terms of kilowatts. So here it is 94 into 10th power minus 3 to the power of 4 minus 47 into 10 power minus 3 to the power of 4, because 94 and 47 are in terms of millimeters. So on calculation we get it as 0.0548 kilowatts. 0.0548 kilowatts. See, observe. You should notice the difference from the previous problem to this problem. In the previous problems, we had been given with the shaft diameter as well as the pocket diameter, and we were asked to determine the load carrying capacity, flow rate and the power loss. But in this case, in the present problem, they have given the load carrying capacity and have asked us to determine the diameters of both the pocket as well as the shaft. This is how the problems are going to vary, and this is how the problems will be asked in the examination. I hope the problem is clear. Okay, we will see the next problem now. Let us continue with the next problem. Okay. So we have a statement going like this. Following data refers to an hydrostatic thrust bearing. Very carefully listen. Hydrostatic thrust bearing. Following data refers to an hydrostatic thrust bearing. Load 460 kilonewton. Load 460 kilonewton. Diameter of the shaft 400 mm. Diameter of the shaft 400 mm. Diameter of the pocket or recess D1, that is 250 mm. Diameter of the pocket or recess is 250 mm. Oil film thickness is 0.15 millimeters. Oil film thickness is 0.15 millimeters. Shaft speed is 2800 rpm. 2800 rpm. Viscosity of the lubricant under the operating condition. Viscosity of the lubricant under the operating condition is 0.033 Pascal second, 0.033 Pascal second, full stop. Determine the inlet supply pressure. Second sub question, energy lost in pumping the fluid, Third sub question, power loss due to viscous friction, Fourth sub question, total energy lost, Fifth sub question, coefficient of friction. The fourth sub question is coefficient of friction. I hope you have taken down the problem or you carefully listened to the problem. So, based on the given statement, let us write down all the data that is mentioned. So, the load acting on the bearing is 460 kilonewton. W, load acting is W, that will be 460 kilonewton. Shaft diameter 400 mm. So, let us convert that 400 into meters, into 10 power minus 3 meters, and the diameter of the pocket 250 into 10 power minus 3 meters. Film thickness 0.15 into 10 power minus 3 meters. Speed, let us have the speed in terms of RPS. 2800 divided by 60. So, we get it as 46.67 RPS. Then the inlet supply pressure is denoted with P naught. Energy lost in pumping the fluid, that is the flow of fluid inside the bearing chamber, which is going to take into consideration the external pressure and the supply pressure. We will have that equation. Then power loss due to viscous friction, you know that from the previous problems and all, we know it is well known. Then the energy lost, total energy lost. The total energy is the sum of the energy lost due to friction as well as due to pumping. The last one is coefficient of friction. What is the friction that is being produced while operating this thrust bearing? Shall we start? So, the first they have asked us to determine the supply pressure. The equations, not to worry, the equations are the same which we have used in the previous problems. Inlet pressure P naught equals 8 W, load carrying capacity is given, natural log d2 by d1, the diameters are given, pi d2 square minus d1 square. We know the diameters, so it is not an issue. Equation number 23.143, page number 23.67. 23.142A. What we have is just the substitution, 8 into 460 into 10 power 3, natural log 250 into 10 power minus 3, 400 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 250 into 10 power minus 3, whole thing divided by pi 400 into 10 power minus 3 square minus 250 into 10 power minus 3 square. On calculation, On calculation, we get this as 5.646 into 10 power 6 Pascal, or we can write that as 5.646 megapascal. 5.646 megapascal. We have found out the supply pressure, inlet pressure. We have found out the inlet supply pressure. Inlet supply pressure is obtained from equation 23.142a. Just on substitution, we get it as 5.646 megapascal. Then the second sub question is energy lost. Energy lost due to pumping. We need to pump the fluid, right, inside the bearing chamber from an out source. We should pump the fluid inside the bearing chamber with the given supply pressure. So what is the energy lost to pump that fluid is E1 Q. What is Q? Flow rate, supply pressure minus the external pressure divided by 1000. This equation or this formula is not available in our data handbook, but we need to remember this. The term is very simple. Q, the amount of fluid that has to be supplied, the pressure at which it should be supplied, or the difference of pressure from which it has to be supplied, right? Okay, but we don't know the value of Q. What is Q? It is a flow rate. So we know Q from the data handbook as equation number 23.144, page number 23.67, page number 23.67, as Q equals pi P naught H cube whole thing divided by 6 neta natural log of d2 by d1, natural log of d2 by d1. So let us substitute to this equation. Pi, what is P naught we got? 5.646 into 10 power 3 H 0.15 into 10 power minus 3 cube whole thing divided by 6 neta, that is viscosity is 0.033, natural log d2 400 means it is 0.4 meters, 250 means it is 0.25 meters. Calculate to get the value of Q. On calculation we get it as 6.437 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube per second. 6.437 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube, sorry, minus 4 meter cube per second, minus 4 meter cube per second. Then we know all the terms of this equation. Shall we find the energy lost? 6.437 into 10 power minus 4. Supply pressure is 5.646. External pressure is 0. Whole thing divided by 1000. 6.437 4 into 5.646 into 10 power 6 because it is mega. On calculation we get it as 3.63 kilowatts. So the value energy lost due to pumping is 3.6 kilowatts. 3.6 kilowatts. Okay. Then there was power loss due to viscous friction. Power loss due to viscous friction. P mu 0.062 n dash square neta divided by 16h into d2 to the power of 4 minus d1 to the power of 4. This is equation number d to the power of 4 minus d1 to the power of 4, equation number 23.145. 145A, page number 23.67. On calculation, we get the power loss due to viscous friction. Power loss due to viscous friction is on calculation 40.28 kilowatts. Next sub question is total energy lost. Total energy is sum of the energy lost due to pumping plus power loss due to viscous friction. Power loss due to viscous friction. This is 3.63 kilowatts plus 40.28 kilowatts. So the total energy lost is 43.9 kilowatts. Next, the last sub question we have is coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction, that is mu. Coefficient of friction, that is mu. We know from the first module itself, mu, coefficient of friction, equals frictional force divided by the normal load. Frictional force divided by the normal load. We know the load acting on the thrust bearing, which is 460 kilonewton. But what is the frictional force? What is the force that is acting because of friction? So we need to come up with that force due to friction. So F mu equals the torque divided by the mean radius. Torque divided by the mean radius. What is torque? We know from our basics, that is power is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. 2 pi nt by 60. So can we cross multiply and establish an equation for our torque? Yes. So the torque is given by, power equals 2 pi nt divided by 60. So I can establish an equation T is equal to 60 times of P divided by 2 pi n. Can I get the torque? Okay. What is mean radius? Mean radius means it is the average radius between the shaft as well as the pocket, which is nothing but R2 plus R1 divided by 2. By knowing all these things, we should calculate. So shall we go for the frictional force? Frictional force. What is the expression for torque? Torque is given by 60p divided by 2 pi n. Right? What is the mean radius? Mean radius is R1 plus R2 divided by 2. R1 plus R2 by 2. Can I cancel this 2? Yes. So what is left out now? We have 60p divided by pi n R1 plus R2. R1 plus R2 and 60 What is the power loss that we have? We have a power loss as 40.28 kilonewtons, 40.28 kilowatts divided by pi. What is the speed at which the shaft is running? 2800 rpm. What is the diameter of the recess? 250 mm. So I will take that as 0.25 meters. What is the diameter of the shaft? 400 mm. So the frictional force that is produced because of this speed 2800 rpm and with a power of 40.28 kilonewton is 60 into 40.28 E3 pi into 2800 is 422.68 Newton. 422.68 Newton. Now we have a coefficient of friction, that is frictional force divided by the normal load. We have determined the force. So let us substitute 422.68 divided by the normal load is 460 kilonewton. So we get the friction, coefficient of friction as 0.918 into 10 power minus 3. 0.918 into 10 power minus 3. This completes the problem. So this is the biggest problem or the lengthiest problem that we have in this particular module, where you can expect this problem for 12 marks along with the load carrying capacity, derivation of load carrying capacity for an hydrostatic step bearing. See, the equations, majority of the equations that we have used are the common equations, are the only 3 equations, like the flow rate, the inlet supply pressure, the viscous power loss due to viscous friction. So in the next coming class, we will see still 3 more problems where we will be given with some data like coefficient of friction, and we will be asked to determine the load carrying capacity. Thank you.